Hey Bernie, you ready for another stick and puck? He's ready. Beakster, it's that time again.
Lamp of the corn, let's get her going, bud.
Get the setup going, guys. Let's get. Oh, and check out this TV.
In addition to the laboratory,
That's insane, dude.
watching hockey all day long, baby. Gotta have the 65 inches.
I don't know if I ever showed you guys, but check out all this memorabilia Cody has here in the cave. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff over here. Maybe we'll do a video another time on all this. And look at this. Back in the day when it all started, the podcasting all started. Little memory thing. What would you call that?
Nostalgia?
Nostalgia, yeah. There you go. All right, let's get into it. You've paid your $5. Now let's get into Stick and Puck.
Alright, it's that time of month again for another session of Stick and Puck, brought to you by Between the Pipes podcast and On the Bench with Beaks. I am Beaks, and with me as always is Mr. Keith Zanders.
Hello. How do you start this?
There we go.
You know, it's been a while since I've used that thing. Back with On the Bench with Beaks, I used to any chance I had, I would just
Yeah, you were so on it. You were so on it. It was almost like second nature to you.
I'm a rookie now, man. It's been a while, and I forgot where the button's at.
Well, it's like riding a bike. You never really truly forget.
Right. It's repetition, man.
Exactly. Shots.
Yeah, man. So
and that's what Sticky Puck's all about, is taking shots. So let's take a couple shots today here. Well, we do have some unfinished business from the last Stick and Puck. You had brought up that you had found some holy grails or grail snipes, if you will.
Holy grails, yeah.
And so let's start this beast off with what you got here, man. I'm on the edge of my seat to find out what you really got here.
It might not be as exciting as it was for me, but I'm so stoked I got the jerseys that we kind of, like I mentioned last episode. Yeah, that there's some on the way. But yeah, we'll background. Not to get crazy into it or anything, but I'm a blab. I just, as everyone knows, I fucking talk and I don't shut up. But here we go.
No wonder why you started a podcast.
But here we go. No, man, I was able to connect with a guy in Switzerland that had some stuff that I was interested in, and he actually had a couple things out on eBay, and he was looking to put things on bid, essentially, Yeah. There were a couple things that I was very interested in, so I just sent him a direct message, like, hey man, like, how much for you to, take this stuff off right now? I'll pay you, obviously if the price is reasonable for me, to get them, so you don't have to go through this whole bid deal, hoping that people are gonna, bid on them or whatnot.
Well, yeah, all you jersey buyers out there know how, like, stressful, like, bidding can be, especially for jerseys.
Yeah, man, and he got back to me, not too long after, and he gave me a price, and it was very reasonable, and I was just like, let's do it, man. From that point on, we made that transaction. We were just kind of exchanging things through email, and he was just like, well, check out these things, and he sent me a couple more things, and I was like, holy shit.
Oh, you pretty much X marks the spot on pirate booty for you.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, how much do you want for these? And then again, we negotiated on a price. And it was one of those things, like I've mentioned it before, like I get really sketched out when it comes to international stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been burnt before, like shipping wise and stuff. So I was very worried that I'm going to dish out all this money and then, the package gets lost or whatnot.
I'll be up Shit's Creek without a paddle.
Yeah, I mean, I trusted the guy, I knew, like, it was nothing like, oh, this dude seems sketchy or anything like that. It was more so making sure that it makes it over the pond. But no, so the agreement I told him was like, hey, like if this first set of jerseys, arrives with no issues, I'll make the other transaction, because I didn't want to dish out like this whole lump sum of money and then I get burnt,
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
this dude has quite a bit of cash on him, and
yeah.
I have nothing,
Right. Test the waters.
But yeah, he agreed on it, and he's like, I'll hold them for you for a month, regardless, and we'll go from there. And the first set, after we made the transaction through from me paying him, and then him shipping out, and I'll be honest, he was so fucking cool. He was very responsive, sent me emails like, hey, going to the post office, hey, here's your tracking number, this and that, like very like. So I felt very comfortable about it, like you could tell that he wasn't looking to, like, he's like he honest dude,
Oh yeah.
very honest guy.
Very communicative, very easy to work with. That's what you want to find in the seller for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, in that sense, like I was like just extremely, extremely comfortable. And those jerseys showed up like from the transaction to getting them here in the United States. It was like 4 or 5 days. So like less than a week.
Oh my
Really.
god, that's awesome, especially
Yeah.
for international stuff.
Yeah, I was blown away. I couldn't believe it, man. Like I really thought, it's gonna be much more harder, but it wasn't.
Wicked. Well, let's see what you got, dude.
Right, man. So let's so there's, let me think now, there's 4 jerseys that I want to share.
Oh wow! All right, this is like a showcase.
Let me hold on here. 1 2 1 2. A little echoey, I know. Sound might be kind of shitty today, guys, on this episode, so sorry. But to get away from the mic so I can share this stuff, I have to step away a little bit. So if it's echoey, my bad.
Just step away.
All right, here it is. And by the way, for people that are watching, Cody has no idea what I have here. I told him, I was like, I'm not fucking pulling this shit out until we start recording. So he's just as clueless as everyone else.
Yeah, so I'm literally on the edge of my seat. Well, maybe not literally.
And I'm sure there's jersey people like, oh my god, you have them all stuffed in a bag. They were packaged with care. Chill out.
Yeah.
Number 1. Do you remember the Kansas City Blades?
Oh my gosh! Wow! Whoa! Wow! Oh yeah, show that to the camera. You gotta show that to the camera. That's just
Kansas City Blades over here. So I was the most stoked about this jersey because I haven't seen them, and this is cool. This is on the tag. It's the Pro Wear. They used to do a thing with Bauer together, so in that sense, like it's not like a what do you call it?
knockoff.
Like a knockoff type.
Yeah.
So it's a cool jersey. What I was a little disappointed about, I asked him about the size, and they told me it's LXL, and that's literally what the tag actually says,
Right.
LXL. I don't know if you can see it on the video. It's a little small.
Yeah, that's a little stuff.
A tiny small. Like maybe I'll get a belly button ring during summer's coming, and I'll rock this bad boy.
Yeah. Rocket is basically like a tube top.
Yeah.
For sure. Everybody's got to have a tube top hockey jersey.
Yeah.
Right?
And here's your back.
An Arturs Irbe. Oh man, that's huge. That's insane.
So most of you goalie freaks or people I know before. So, let me shut this down a little bit. There we go. There we go. A little bit better. So when everybody went to the Sharks, so for a lot of people that don't know, the Kansas City Blades, if I remember correctly, used to be part of the IHL,
Yes.
which used to be the affiliate for the San Jose Sharks at the time.
Oh yeah.
So think of it as like your AHL teams or whatever these days,
Oh yeah.
So that's what the Kansas City Blades were. So Urban didn't go straight to the Sharks. They put him with the Kansas City Blades, and that's where he spent some time, kind of going back and forth, honestly, between the San Jose Sharks and
The Blades.
the Blades. There was, I couldn't give you the years and stuff. I'm not that savvy, but he went back and forth until, what was it, when they traded him, 96 to Dallas?
Somewhere around 96 or something like that. It had to have been.
Yeah, they sent him to Dallas, I believe, where he, I believe, played as a backup for a year.
Yeah. And then went to Carolina.
No, Canucks.
Oh wow! See, yeah. Well, I wouldn't. Well, you're the Archer Survey guy, so for sure.
He went to the Canucks for also a year.
See, I didn't even know that.
As a backup. And let's talk about the next jersey from now on.
Let's bust out the next jersey. See what we got here.
All right, let me crank this mic up again a little bit.
We got 4, so 3 more. All right.
And boom.
And there's the Canucks jersey with a real nice savvy All-Star.
The
98 All-Star game.
Yep, 98 All-Star game patch because it was in Vancouver.
98 for sure.
Yep. And this was the 1 year when Urbe played.
So let me guess. This one's also an Archer Survey. Wow, that's beautiful. That thing is beautiful. And you know what? I gotta tell you right now that that Canucks jersey is probably my favorite Canucks jersey out of all of their jerseys. I mean, they've had some incredible styles, but that thing is just so clean. Oh man, you've been sweeping up on the Urbe gear for sure.
Yeah, buddy, and so this, I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there with one of these bad boys, but I have not seen any. I mean, I have not seen any. It took me forever to get a Carolina Hurricanes Archer Zerbe jersey.
Yeah, well, see, and then that's the thing is that I think when he played for San Jose and when he played for Carolina, he was the most notable. At least in my eyes, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, that was his Stanley Cup Finals run, really,
Yeah.
And, I mean, after that, I hate to say it, but it kind of went downhill from there, really. I mean, his career's been like this the whole time, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He was doing super hot with the Sharks, He did great even with the Blades. I think they won that 92 or whatever. They won whatever the cup was in the IHL.
Oh, nice.
Urbe won that, and he was like one of the leading goalies in the league. So, but then like the dog bite thing happened. I don't know what year that was. It was just a whole weird deal because then he got dealt to the Stars,
right,
where he did okay, but he was just a backup, and then the year with the Canucks where he really didn't do much, but had some good games and whatnot.
Right.
And then after, if I'm not mistaken, after that's when he went to Carolina. And that's where he actually spent most of his career as it comes with the NHL.
Hey, those beautiful dirty ass white pads.
Yep.
Lovely.
Oh god, those things have been through hell and back, but that's the coolest story about Archer Zerbe is those freaking his gear in general.
Oh yeah,
how he worked on it himself and then let the equipment managers even touch him for he did most of the work on him.
Yes, like sitting on the bus and the team plane, literally stitching his stuff back together.
And there was a lot of people I in social media I've seen in the past where they talked about like, oh, that's BS. He didn't use the same pads throughout his season and this and that, and yeah, he did. But the reason why sometimes the pads look different when you compare pictures, they actually changed the skins on them to match or whatever. And I think at the end is when they just stuck to the regular white, was just because white goes with everything, really.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's easy, it's simple, and I mean, it's cheap, basically. And I mean, the way Archer's felt about his stuff, I mean, you don't have to be flashy. It's just got to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he did. He's made it work.
Yep. And then, yeah, speaking of Carolina, I didn't bring my Carolina, but I do have a Archer's of the Carolina Hurricanes jersey, too. It's at home. After the Hurricanes, though, that's when it got really rocky for Urbe.
Yeah.
So he had that awesome, Stanley Cup Finals. And then, what was that? 01-02 season? The Stanley Cup run?
I believe it was the 2002-2003.
Okay, you might be right. Yeah. Again, I'm bad with the years and stuff, and we might be wrong, and correct us if we're wrong, but
yeah, 01-02 and 02-03 were definitely like the highlight career kind of seasons.
Then I know after that, it was just like rocky. He didn't do too well, and he was kind of towards the bottom. And if I remember correctly, he even got dealt to the ECHL at that time.
Yeah, the Johnstown Chiefs, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The team that was that Slapshot was pretty much basically based off of.
So that happened, and from there he actually then got dealt to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah,
which he never played one game because that was a lockout season.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
yep. There was that, and then he went back to Europe.
Yeah, Salzburg and Nitra in the Slovak League, the Austrian League and Slovak League.
That's right.
I actually just pulled it up, so that's why I know.
There you go. So let's go to... And then Urbe went...
Oh my gosh, yes.
To the Salzburg Red Bull, the Austrian team.
Yeah, oh wow. Dude, so this guy really had just everything Urbe. Unreal. That is so sweet.
Yep, so this is what they call a fan jersey, so it's not like, I don't think it's even like polyester or whatever.
Yeah, just screen print. But I mean, holy crap,
crafted in the
dude.
Czech Republic. Yeah, so we got that. Hold on, let me mess with the mic a little bit again. Boom. Hello, people.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
No, see, I'm not a big fan. Obviously, if you've ever listened to anything we've ever talked about, I'm not a huge fan of,
advertising
like, ads. But I mean, it does seem interesting when you kind of look at them up close. But I mean, just to get, another beautiful Urbe edition, like that's another one that you're not gonna find anywhere.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh. So you've basically just swept up on Urbe jerseys, haven't you?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe, yeah, a little bit. All right. So what's your fourth one? What do you got?
And then the very end of Urbe was the hockey club Nitra. Hold on, me. All right, so yes, so the Nitra team, and what happened here was Urbe didn't even finish a whole season with them. He just did not do well. He just had, and from what I understand is he basically pulled himself out of the team. Like, he didn't even finish the season with him.
Oh, you only played 6 games with him, actually.
His performance was so poor, unfortunately. where he just said, my time's over. He just came to the conclusion and
pulled himself out,
and he's been retired since. And that's when he started doing coaching and stuff. So,
and that's kind of like the same thing that Brizgalov did too later in his career as well. He tried to make a comeback, somewhat of a comeback in the NHL, and it was just like, no, this isn't happening.
Yeah. So,
some major grails, wow, yeah.
Yeah, man, and this one's a goalie cut too, which is crazy. Like, I could probably freaking wear this with my gear, which obviously I won't, but I don't think I can, like wear it. It's just a smidge too big, But it's still cool. But yeah, man, this is the holy grail that I was kind of hyping up and trying to work out, and I'll be honest, shitting my pants, hoping that they're gonna show up and not get lost somehow, international mail or whatnot.
Oh yeah.
But thankfully everything showed up with no issues and very fast at that, like I mentioned before. So, but these are them, man. These are I was going back and forth to negotiate. And the hardest one actually to negotiate was the Canucks one.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, probably. I mean, the Austrian and Slovak leagues are probably like super rare too. But I mean, especially the Canucks one. I mean, yeah, that was gotta be hard to just take out of somebody's grasp.
Yeah. And I was thinking the same way. I mean, the Canucks is. I'd like to think the Canucks one is super rare here in the United States. I mean, he played one season.
Yeah.
1 year. So how many jerseys were even produced back then?
I mean, yeah.
He was a backup too.
Yeah, and he's like a niche kind of like fan favorite kind of guy,
Yeah.
Almost like a an urban hero sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
You really got to understand who the guy is to be a fan of him, or otherwise, you just kind of see him as like just another backup goaltender.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, like, I'm not doubting that maybe there's someone out here in the United States that might have the Nitra and the Salzburg Red Bull, but those are rare here in the United States. They have to be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Fan jersey or not, like, they're not out here.
Oh, they don't print a lot of those, especially after the fact of, like, I mean, only 6 games,
Yeah,
how many of those do you think really got printed?
And Salzburg too. Salzburg only played for a year too. That was only a year thing in that Austria league.
Oh yeah.
What I love about is the Salzburg Red Bull, and it's like it fits so well because obviously Red Bull originated in Austria, so I was like,
oh yeah,
it's cool how that all like goes together on that side of the world,
Absolutely unreal. I tell you what, man, those are some beauty pickers, and the Kansas City Blades one is it's incredible as well. Like that one, like,
it's so cool, man, and yeah, and again, I don't know why, but the Blades one was the one that I was the most stoked of, and unfortunately when I pulled it out and I saw the size and I was like, holy shit, like I would assume it's a youth jersey most likely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like youth LXL, whatever. And who knows? Like I said, the dude might have not known it too. But I would have appreciated if he would have said like, the Blades one looks a little small compared to the Canucks large
cut or like, the goalie cut.
But dude might have he sees dollar signs and I see jerseys, so I see how it goes. And
I mean, even if it is small, I mean, yeah, maybe you won't be able to wear it very often, but I mean, like, that is a super special jersey.
Hey man, even if I can frame it,
oh yeah, absolutely,
and throw it on the wall one day or something, like, well worth it to me.
Oh, totally. And I mean, that just goes back to what we were saying, last Stick and Puck, where like jerseys to us, it provides so much meaning for us, and that's a perfect example of it. that means so much to you as as a proud Latvian and goaltender.
Yeah.
And I mean that. Yeah, you don't see a lot of Kansas City Blades Artur Survey jerseys running around. So. Or any of those for that matter. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, those are those you gotta call those Grail snipes for sure.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I have some cool jerseys, but I want to say these are probably the coolest ones so far that I've been able to snag. So
probably top of the pops.
Yeah.
Top of the pop chart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, like I said, that Vancouver one all four of them are just special as hell. So
yeah.
Good goal. Good grab. All four, dude. Yeah, that was well worth the wait.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed them. I was super excited on them. Like I said, I talked to you earlier, and I was like, man, I'm excited that I have them, but it's like it doesn't feel as exciting anymore now that I have them. So then I started doubting. I was like, will other people even feel like?
Well, yeah.
I was like, holy shit, this is cool.
I finally got him, and I'm like, oh, well.
No, I have them. What now? It's weird.
Find new Grail snipes.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to be happy and move on to some other project or some wish that you wanted or
that's
whatever.
The thing is, jersey collecting is an ever evolving discipline, really.
Absolutely.
Because once you do get a hold of those ones, you've done all this work, and a lot of the work and looking for it, all the research and tracking them down is half the fun, anyways. And then waiting for them to get here, like a little kid on Christmas morning, waiting to go open up your couple presents or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when you finally got it, you're like, where's my meaning again?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, yeah, and that's the cool thing about it is that there's so many jerseys out there is that you can continue doing that. And some you will be able to get, and some you won't be able to get. And those are 4 really awesome jerseys that you just got. So.
Well, thank you, sir.
Applause, very applauded indeed, for sure.
I appreciate it.
Oh man, absolutely.
I appreciate it, man. Well, hey, man, enough of my jerseys, man. We've spent over 20 minutes talking about these jerseys. There's a couple other things that's worth mentioning. Obviously, it happens to fall today. Actually, that it's the Humboldt Broncos' 4th anniversary.
Yeah, for sure.
Since the incident happened, so I feel like it's very important to mention that and kind of remember that and talk about it. I know, Cody, you mentioned you're very close with Dog Nation Hockey Foundation here in Colorado.
Yeah,
and those guys have done some great things for not only yourself but other people. But they've been very very close with the Humboldt Broncos family since day one of the incident, and they got some other things going on. If you don't mind sharing that information.
Yeah, just a little context. Yeah, is when the Humboldt crash actually happened, Dog Nation took a huge leap and actually went out to Humboldt, visited the spot, visited a lot of the families, and dealt out some major bucks for a lot of the victims and injured parties, which was really cool. And yeah, ever since then they've been really close with a lot of those guys. Grayson Cameron being one of them, and we were actually lucky enough to have him on the On the Bench with Beaks podcast, if you remember correctly.
Yep. Do you remember which episode that was?
Oh my gosh, that was I want to say somewhere in the 50s.
All right. I was for people that maybe want to re-listen to that or something. Well, I'll see if I can find enough in the description.
Yeah, absolutely. And that one was a really powerful episode to really talk to him about it. And Dog Nation has invited a lot of some of the guys that actually ended up being paralyzed in that crash out to Denver, and they made him the star of the Denver Broncos game. Because, Humboldt Broncos, kind of like a correlation.
Sure, yeah.
Took him out there, put him on the 50-yard line, made him the heroes of the game, which was really cool. And ever since then, they've, kept in touch with all these people, so it's always been huge. But recently, from what I've been told, Greg I believe it's Greg Barney, the head coach of the Humboldt Broncos.
Okay.
I might be getting the name wrong, but I believe it's like Greg Barney or something like that. He had this brainchild that he brought up to Marty, Dog Nation Dogfather, that he thought it'd be really cool to, at the end of every season, moving forward, to nominate one Humboldt Bronco player who best embodies the spirit of like give hard, play fair, give back, spirit of Dog Nation,
Sure.
and award them like a scholarship.
Very
moving
cool.
forward. So that's that. Like, it's kind of crazy that we just the anniversary shows up and this kind of news kind of breaks out, but it's very exciting. I mean, that's what a great way to immortalize all the folks that they lost and continue a surviving, a giving and loving spirit that that the hockey community showed towards the original victims and such of the Humboldt bus crash.
Absolutely.
So I thought that was really cool, and I mean, just like it just proves again how the hockey community really rallies around like one of its own. When one guy goes down, and like there's 10 guys willing to step up for him.
Yeah. No, hockey community's great, man, and again, it reminds you how small the hockey world really is at the end of the day. I mean, there's teams all over the world in the NHL, whatever, different leagues, but at the end of the day, everyone somehow runs into each other, from your beer leaguers to NHLers to ECHL, like on and on and on. It just, we all somehow find our way to run into each other and share, the compassion of the game and
I mean, obviously, there are some toxic parts of hockey, just as there is in just regular life, that, I mean, obviously needs to change, but this is one thing, one aspect of hockey that I've always been so proud of.
Absolutely, man.
The interconnectivity and the true, brothership and sistership, sisterhood and brotherhood of the sport. We may talk shit to each other till the cow comes home about like the different teams that we cheer for, but in the end we all see each other as just people loving the same kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of and to be able to be a part of that and to see it evolving even more to where people are really helping out futures and picking up fallen soldiers, brethren, sistren, it's such a treat to be able to see it, and the fact that it's getting to be much more part of the sport is helping out the ones that are in need.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man, and again, today being the day and remembering, it's so cool to see. I mean, we got this big TV behind us that the camera doesn't see, but there's some games going on today, and it's super cool to see how like no one's still forgotten, and they're doing their part to kind of remember and stuff, which is super cool, man.
Yeah, Winnipeg just had a really incredible tribute to it before the game. It was really beautifully done and tasteful, and it had all the names of that Broncos team on the ice and stuff, and everybody. It just it's such a sad and terrible thing to do, and we're so lucky that another situation has happened like that since on such a large scale in the hockey community. So you got to be thankful for that, but you do got to remember that this did happen, and so many lives were changed in an instant, but yet the hockey community was still there. Just like we touched on this when Colby Cave passed.
Yes.
From Boston Bruins, Edmonton Oilers. How when his body was being transported back to his hometown, there were like old fans, friends, family were all lined up on the road where his body was being transported back to the family house. it's just powerful stuff like that
Yeah.
you don't see very often.
Super cool.
But when you do, it's it's solemn, it's very sad, but it's beautiful that the hockey community is there for each other.
Absolutely, man. I know. I can't agree more with you, man. It's just cool, and it's, again, rest in peace to everyone that passed away, and obviously we'll never forget, and they'll keep, we'll keep remembering this every year, and it's just great. It's so cool.
Yeah, and just try to do better for everybody.
Absolutely.
For all the lives that were affected, and try to continue to evolve the sport to move forward even more, so that more of this can happen, and it's not like nobody's really rushed or felt in jeopardy, as soon
Right.
as, because bad things are going to happen regardless, but I mean,
Part of life.
yeah, but the fact is, the way it's moving, in my eyes, is that we're going to be there for you no matter what.
Absolutely.
Which is really it's powerful. It's very powerful, and it's a beautiful thing. So
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely, man. All right. Moving on.
Yeah. Switching up to a lighter subject.
Lighter subject. Man, Cody, I've told you, I've just been super busy with work and everything, so I've been really out of the loop when it comes to the NHL and stuff. I try to follow it as much as I can, read up on some things, but I haven't seen a lot of games and this and that, and such is life. I'm sure other people can relate to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But one thing I gotta talk to you about, and it cracks me up. What was it, yesterday, I think? I saw it throughout the Colorado Avalanche sites.
It's everywhere on social media.
Everywhere's Twitters, Instagrams, Facebooks, so on and so forth.
Tickery-tockery.
They announced the Colorado Avalanche have clinched that playoff spot.
What? Are you serious? Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but I could not stop laughing about it. I get it. Everyone's excited. They're going to the playoffs and stuff. But at the same time, I was like, do you think they weren't going to go to the playoffs?
Yeah. Probably one of the most over obvious statements of the century, or at least this year. The Colorado Avalanche clinched the playoffs. Let's be honest. For the last month, they've been at least 10 points ahead of everybody.
Well,
in the
they're
West.
106 points right now,
106 points right now. As of right now, they are the closest. The closest team to them right now are 15 points away from them. But yeah, I get what you're saying, man. It's just you see all these people they clinched. No shit.
But it's funny, it's almost like, whew, that was a close one, boys.
Oh, got in by the skin of our teeth.
If we would have lost that one game, shoot,
for real,
we've been talking a different story, right?
Oh yeah, without that last game, we probably would have never got in. No, it is pretty ridiculous, and I understand it's all about that the media blitz and the media sensation about it, but it's at some point just it's almost redundant. Do you really even have to say anything? Everybody knew that they were already clinched. And what I found was absolutely ridiculous is that they weren't even the first team to clinch. Actually, Florida clinched before them.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Because the bottom of the East is just such a mess right now that a couple teams there's just no way.
Yeah.
No way that they were gonna even. Montreal and I think Detroit's now exempt as well. I don't know. Maybe if they lose this game that we're watching against Winnipeg, they'll probably be out of it. But yeah, it is. It's a little bit ridiculous. But you got to do what you got to do.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Put it out there.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to talk to you idiots or anything.
No.
You gotta understand. At the end of the day, you're freaking Arizona. I don't know. I'm just thinking, Arizona. Yeah.
Seattle.
Whoever, they would have done the same thing. Media is media, and they're they're gonna hype up their team no matter how far ahead they may be or how far behind. Like, but I just thought it was funny.
It's
like,
all
we're clinched. Like,
it's like,
oh my god.
oh no shit! What?
Woo.
Seriously?
Because I couldn't sleep last night. I was like, what if? What if?
Oh, I was chewing my fingernails off right down to the to the base.
What if they didn't count the ballots correctly?
Right? Yeah. Is this another Florida ballot situation or what? You just got to see the humor in the situation because you're just like, yeah, for like the longest time, you're like, yeah, of course Colorado's going to be making the playoffs. Right. They could take the rest of the season off and still make the playoffs and probably in the top spot. Top one or two, maybe.
Yeah.
Or third if somebody got really hot. So yeah, it's pretty humorous just to see like everybody saying like, dude, it's at this point it's redundant for sure.
No, for sure.
But media blitz is what it is. But yeah, it's pretty goofy because you think about it like, well, who's gonna make the playoffs? Like last month, if anybody went up to you and asked you like who's gonna make the playoffs, well, Colorado for sure.
Yeah.
And there's no denying.
I mean, there's a few teams that you can say right off the bat. Colorado obviously was one of them. Florida was one of them.
Carolina, and then and so it's funny because we've been living with this for so long. So it's just like.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But still speaking on, a little bit on the Avs and stuff, the trade deadline wasn't really that long ago,
No, yeah.
Again, like I kind of saw bits and pieces. No goalies. That's all I care about is goalies. No goalies. But they did pick up some new talent. I want to ask you being the guru and stuff, what are your thoughts on these new players? And so far, it's been a few weeks and they've played. Have you seen any difference?
Absolutely. For one thing, what Joe did was very savvy. I mean, he picked up 4 really decent players that can really shore up the bottom 6 of the Avs. You get a hold of guys like Nico Sturm and Andrew Cagliano. They're heart kind of guys. They play with an edge. They play fast. They play tough, and they're smart defensively, which is always a big plus when going into the Stanley Cup playoffs. Huge. And then you go out and get out like a real defensively high IQ, hard-hitting defenseman in Josh Manson. And mind you, all 3 of those, you've only given up picks and Tyson Jost.
Yeah. That's
it. So you got 3 players right there that you are not subtracting from your lineup, you're only adding.
Sure.
And then the biggest deal is going out and getting Arturi Lehkonen from the Montreal Canadiens.
So let me ask you about that one, because it's like, I was waiting for some memes to start coming out of that trade and stuff. Not that like he's a terrible player or anything like that, but there was like a visa situation.
Yeah, that was absolutely
got traded and then he couldn't play. How many games did he miss? Because there was like a visa issue or something, and he was still chilling in Canada.
If I'm not mistaken, he definitely missed like at least two. Least 2, because
not as bad.
No, but he had a Canadian work visa. And obviously, when you come to work and play in the U.S., or a U.S.-based hockey team, you have to get a U.S. visa as well.
Yeah, work visa. Yeah.
So I mean, anybody who's moved to a different country is gonna understand that. Yeah, but normally those things get acquired like within a snap of a finger, especially for professional sports players,
sure,
athletes. But yeah, it just, I don't know, it just kept lingering on and on and on. I don't know if maybe the American government thought he was like Russian or something. But it was just, he was held out for a few games. I mean, he could practice with the team, but he couldn't play. So yeah, for a few games here, right after, and the thing is, acquiring him was huge. It was huge. We let go of, a mighty fantastic prospect in Justin Barron, but the biggest thing about it is Arturi Lehkonen. You can play up and down your lineup, super fast, well liked guy, just as everybody that that's spoken. I've all spoken highly about how great of a teammate he is and how well he plays and how much he adds just to his line into the team and stuff. So a lot of Colorado Avalanche fans are hyped, like fuck yeah, this guy's gonna be awesome, and we want to see him play, but he's on the shelf because the U.S. government won't give him a damn work visa.
Come on, Biden, get it together, man.
Seriously, come on, Joe. It's time to wake up from the nap and give my boy a work visa. Luckily, he finally did, and ever since then, he's been playing lights out for the Avs. He's fit in really well, especially with Val and Nichushkin. Like those two are just pesky as all hell. And you saw it in the first and second Pittsburgh Penguins game. The man is just tenacious on the puck and never gives up on a play. And I mean, he got his first goal, albeit an empty net goal, in the second back-to-back Pittsburgh Penguins game. But no, man, kid's going to be great, and he's already starting to fit in. All the guys are really starting to find a place in the Colorado Avalanche lineup. So it's very exciting time, and adding just a little bit more to this, like, oh, the Avalanche clinched. Like, yeah, all right, let's just get to the fucking playoffs already.
Yeah.
I
hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, no. I agree.
Did that tickle?
Yeah, no, it did. You answered everything you had to answer, man. I really don't have any other questions.
Yeah, and I mean, well, I will say this one thing. I mean, yeah, it hurt a little bit giving up Justin Barron because he's going to be a great player. I mean, he's already in Montreal playing for the Canadiens instead of with us. He was playing down in the AHL this year. But we do get term on Artturi Lehkonen, so we'll have Artturi Lehkonen for a while. A lot of these other trades that Joe could have made for like a Claude Giroux or a JT Miller, we would have had to give him up for basically just a rental.
Yeah.
So at least now we have Lehkonen for the next couple of years, and we got him at half the price as Montreal retained half his salary. So
sure,
savvy moves by Joe. I mean, I'll tell you what. You think the guy's not going to do anything, or you're worried that he won't do anything or he'll make a mistake. I'll tell you what. Prospects are prospects. Yeah, Justin Barron may become a great player one day. But the Avs want to win now, and Joe made the perfect moves to win now. And they seem to be paying off. So that's what I got to say about that. And, good on you, Joe. Everybody, like a lot of other teams had some pretty savvy moves as well. I mean, obviously the the Panthers, picking up Giroux.
And that's what we were really shooting for. I mean, at the beginning, that was really like...
Yeah, that was the big rumor that, the Avalanche and the Florida Panthers were the two teams in on it. But it turned out, after the trade was made, Giroux only wanted to go to the Panthers. Like, Joe had reached out about Claude, but, I mean, that was like a couple months ago. And ever since then, it was just kind of just dropping in and still seeing if that's what was going to happen, and that's exactly what happened. So it wasn't as close a battle for Claude Giroux
as I thought it would be. Yeah,
everybody thought it was. Everybody's like, "Oh man, Joe and the Florida Panthers GM are like going back and forth, like throwing out these different crazy trade combinations." It's like it's becoming this huge, like, tumultuous thing. Like, no, it really wasn't. It was Florida the whole time. So, and Giroux would have just been a rental. He would have, with our cap space, he would have never been able to, like, sign for term, especially when Nazem Kadri's contract will be up. Nathan McKinnon will have to get signed as well on the offseason. So, we've got enough to deal with trying to sign our big players anyways. We don't need to worry about a Claude Giroux as well. And with Artturi Lehkonen, we don't have to worry about that for another couple of years.
Yeah.
So, and an explosive player adds a lot to the lineup. Good on you, Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it live from Cody Beekman at the On the Bench Beaks headquarters.
Those are the squeaks from the Beaks.
There you go, man. Well, hey. You answered all my questions. We've been talking to close to an hour almost.
Oh wow. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Nice shoot around again. We gotta break some grails.
Yeah.
Send some love out to the helpful hockey community out there, and I get to chat my balls off about the Avalanche. So
I always appreciate it, man. Every time I don't know something, I always come to you.
hey, well,
It's
I
spit
do
it
what I
out,
can.
man. What did I miss? So you answer all my questions.
Well, and I learned some stuff about Archer Survey today, so I like that too.
There you go, man. There you go. We can learn something new every day.
Oh yeah. Well, all right. So tell everybody where you can find Between the Pipes podcast.
Between the Pipes podcast at Between the Pipes podcast on Instagram. That's really where I sit the most. I don't really do any other social media. Got really nothing going between the pipes right now. I just doing the stick and puck, focusing on that. Like I said, I was last episode I was talking about maybe doing a little rebranding, but haven't figured that stuff out yet. But when I do, I'll let you know.
And definitely check out the Instagram. You're always posting some interesting.
I'm doing jerseys or
like
some videos and stuff, and yeah, check it out, man. I still try to stay involved, and in whatever way I can. I'm gonna take some nice pictures of these jerseys. I'm gonna post them. This episode in particular, guys, it might be kind of boring just on the audio without us talking these jerseys and you guys not getting the visual on them. So it might be worth checking out this video once it comes out on YouTube at On the Bench with Beaks on YouTube. That's where it's going to be out. So yeah, I highly recommend check us out. Give us a like, give us a thumbs down, whatever.
Fuck you if you do give me a thumbs down. I'm gonna come out. We'll have Donnybrook.
But check us out. Give us a little support. Again, we're doing this for fun. We're not trying to be millionaires off of this or anything.
No.
But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. And one last thing before I forgot, I want to give you a quick shout out on air. It's like little Beakster here got mentioned on Spittin' Chicklets a week ago or so.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was pretty cool. They talked about Beaks over here, Spittin' Chicklets. I don't know which episode it is, but if you look it up, it's the one with Milan Hajduk.
Milan invited. He was invited on, and then he had Marty, the dog father, come on, and they all obviously talked a lot about Milan's career and stuff like that. But then after that, they started talking about how Milan and I met through Marty and Dog Nation and what all the wonderful things they're doing with Dog Nation. So yeah, check out the Chicklets episode. That was pretty cool. Having Biz hear about like the whole story. So like I said on Instagram, Biz, anytime you want to hop on an EpiBud, there's plenty of room on the bench with Beaks.
There you go, man.
So just a little shout out there. That was cool. That was pretty sweet. It was a different kind of thing. So
hell yeah, man! You got to do it. That doesn't happen often in life, so had to be mentioned.
Oh, for sure. And I'm just glad Marty and Dog Nation's getting a good look in the spotlight too for all the incredible things that they've done for me and the hockey community. So that's great for them too. So huge.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, guys. This is episode 3. Again, we'll probably see you in about a month.
Yeah, boys and girls, have a wonderful month, and keep that stick taped, tie those skates up, and come have a shoot around with us next time.
What he said, I just need to figure out how to strap those pads on.
Ha! There you go.
All right, guys. Till next time.
Bye. Exactly.